All right.
Shut up, Dylan.
What?
All right. I'm just putting two peace signs up until you guys are ready for me to go.
I'm ready.
Peace to the world.
I'm ready.
Are you ready, Jacob?
Mm.
All right. And I don't care about Andrew's opinion. Last time. Alright, last time on Tales of the Omega Astria, the crew closed up loose ends in the city of Nox Hollow. They finally defeated the rest of the Diamond Knights, at least the ones they didn't like, and managed to talk their way out of town and out of the orcs being executed for crimes they may or may not have done. Then they boarded Miss Wish's shuttle with about 12 people. Actually, that might be underselling it. I wrote this when we finished, but I think it was actually more than that. Too many people. But you guys made it work and headed in the direction of the old research facility to pick up Anastasia. Then, after 15 and a half sessions, you exited the planet of Zolkral Prime and were greeted by a ring fleet ship similar to the one that you arrived to Zolkral Prime on. More than a week ago, the carcass of which remains stagnant above the planet's atmosphere. After boarding the former warship, the party's natural leader Set stepped forward and conversed with the current admiral on board, who you have not gotten the name of, a slightly shorter, gray-haired man who was accompanied by 3 armored marines who dressed in what was essentially stormtrooper armor, but the colors were inverted. As the conversation was going on, however, the party's other 3 members and all of their guests are still on board the Witch's shuttle. Devon, Reinhardt, and Koch, as Set does the talking. What would you guys be doing?
Struggling to get out of the drawer.
Right. Okay. Perfect. What about the other 2?
Playing with a baby.
Yes.
That sounds a little bit weird, but I know what you
There
meant.
you go.
Playing in what way?
I'm jiggling some keys in front of the baby.
Do you have
I
keys?
was gonna jiggle the baby.
Just found some keys, okay?
The keys to the ship, you immediately
It's just a
snatched them
rock.
as soon as we landed.
Just took them from the pilot.
What about
The
Devon?
baby needs these more.
I'm curious as to what Jamal thinks about this whole situation, because he's been pretty quiet since we've been on the ship. So I'm gonna go and try and talk to him.
Yeah, and as Set has been doing this, you can sort of, as you look over towards Jamal, you can see that he is speaking to Dragoon and a few of the other orcs that appear to be, taking up some form of leadership in this current moment. And as you walk over, Jamal makes eye contact with you, and he looks happy that you're stepping over to him to speak.
Okay, good. Well, I don't say that out loud, obviously, but hey, everybody. It's been a pretty wild last 24 hours, I'd say, or whatever the time frame is in this world. But I don't know. I'm glad that we were all able to make it out of there, because things got pretty crazy pretty quickly with that.
Yes, and I don't think the craziness is going to end now.
So, where have you guys been talking about where ultimately you would like to end up? There might be an opportunity for us to go to a certain hub planet and get transitioned to a certain other one.
Jamal looks towards his father, and then Dragoon says, "The orcs and all of us have spoken, and I think what is best for us is if we remain on this shuttle and head with Miss Wish to wherever she is going. I do not believe that after everything that happened on or in Nox Hollow, we wish to immediately jump on board a ring fleet vessel."
Yes, and we do face plenty of discrimination when it comes to international travel.
Jamal says, Yes, and I was going to speak to you about this. These people you travel with, they seem fine, and I trust them. They showed to be great heroes when the moment got toughest.
Oh yes, this is an excellent group of people. We're a quirky bunch.
But the rest of the world does not view us the same way your open-minded group does. Now, not everyone is anti-orc these days, but there is truth to the fact that we were enemy number one for the ring, and I just... He puts his hand out and sort of grabs your shoulder. I just want to make sure that you're safe. And he looks towards his father. I don't know what's best for me now. I want to protect my people, but I feel as though I also want to protect you, Devon.
Well, words cannot say how much I appreciate you saying that. I mean, I think there have been a lot of trials and tribulations, even in just the short amount of time that we've known each other, that, we've always kind of had each other's backs, seemingly. So, those same things that you just said are, heartfelt and felt likewise, because, I really want to make sure that, not just you, but, every orc that we got here, ultimately all of us end up somewhere that we're accepted, because, there aren't a lot of spots like that anymore.
Yes, and when you consider the fact that our home world still has its issues, it doesn't leave a whole lot of places for us to go.
Well, I think staying with the madam is for the, definitely for the best for right now, because I do think there maybe could I do like a history check to see if there were planets that potentially we could be more orc friendly or tolerant to that, or have regions where it's more accepted?
Yeah, you can do a history check.
13.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously Megru is the home planet, so you would be accepted there. There's just obviously personal issues with that. The main planet that would be most welcoming, you assume, would be places like Flux, because they have like very little restrictions for who can go to the planet, and it's more of a place of learning, so people go there all the time. Elfir orcs can go to. With current leadership, it's far more progressive, but there is still like a contingency of people that are very conservative and do not want orcs there, but the main cities are very protective over that kind of stuff, so that would be the main two places. Other than that, the stations, like the Star Forges, all would allow orcs to live there for as long as they want. So those would be the main places.
Okay. Well, I suppose I relay that information somewhat, but for right now, we have time for all of us, really, to come up with a plan of how to get out of this. So, anything that you guys need in support, I'm there for you.
Of course. And I was curious, although my duty tells me to protect my people and take them where is most safe, once I have accomplished this, where are you planning on going? Perhaps I can meet up with you afterwards.
I have quite a few adventures that will involve different trips to different planets. Ultimately, I will end up back on Megru. There is apparently an inevitability that I cannot escape there. So I must return to my home planet and face my destiny, I suppose, as corny as that sounds.
Is there a way we could communicate until that time comes. And as he says this, Dragoon actually speaks up and says, there is a way. And he pulls out from behind, like attached to his cloak, a small little cage. And inside you can see his bird, Twinkle. And he holds it out towards you, Devon, and he says, if you have Twinkle with you, I will be able to see through his eyes, and we will be able to find you when the time comes, Devon.
Wow.
Jamal says, Father, that bird has been with you for as long as I can remember. And as Devon said, destiny is with him. Take care of this bird, will you, Devon? He holds out the cage to you.
I look at the cage and I kind of look at him and I say, are you sure that you wish to see the horrors that may ensue in our travels?
Perhaps I will be a bit selective with what I choose to look at, but I believe this is what is right. When the time comes and you need us most, we must be by your side, and we will be. And yeah, you can just see this in this small little metal cage is probably like, it looks like a pigeon, but it's a little bit bigger than that. Probably a bird that you'd find on Megru. But yeah, he just holds it out to you. And
I'll take the bird. What was its name again?
Twinkle.
Twinkle. Thank you. I will do everything I can to make sure that this one stays safe. Yeah,
and one of the other orcs, sort of, who was listening in, you recognize as Ulag, the guy that was holding the door at the bar. He just is like, we'll be there for you, Devon. Don't you worry. Look at us. We're a full-blown army already. A couple of the orcs high five. And Jamal just shakes his head.
I salute back and strength in numbers, good friends.
Absolutely. Well, we have some more planning to do, but if you need us, come and find us before we leave.
Of course. I'll be not too far away.
All right. And he goes back to talking with his father.
I'll go head back to the group then, unless there's another orc that wants to talk to me.
The orcs seem to be pretty preoccupied. You can see that I think Maddie Winters actually exited the ship with Set and started kissing the ground, so she's not there. But
she is just like 2 feet behind me, actively making out with the ground, full on makeout.
Yeah, Anastasia. The rest of you can see Anastasia. You think that she was probably very exhausted, like she was so terrified of those people coming back that she has not slept a lot in the past week, so she has just fallen asleep on the ride over. And then what happened to Dridgy when she got on board? Do you remember, Andrew?
Unconscious, right?
Is she unconscious?
No, she's awake again.
Yeah, she probably was just standing near you as you were in the drawer. So that's where she is. And then Cheros is sitting, looking kind of contemplative. Cock and Reinhardt, you guys... Oh, Cock's in a drawer. Reinhardt, you can give me a perception check.
I just walk straight out into a trap.
15.
15, okay. One thing you notice about Churros, so last episode you guys brought on board the giant mirror and the...
Nope, I sold that.
Oh yeah, you sold the mirror. You kept the rock though, right?
Yeah, I kept the egg.
Yeah, so the giant blue rock that you guys found in the labs on Zokra Prime, when Alduin first appeared, that rock seemingly was, connected to him in some way. There was like a magical energy that looked very powerful and was connected to the child version. And then when you guys left the rock, that, went away. But now, as he sits there on board, it doesn't seem like he's noticed it, but Reinhardt definitely has. There is a slight blue glow that is connecting him and the rock, and you're not quite sure what's happening, but they're connected somehow. As you dangle the pilot's keys in front of a baby's face, you notice this.
It's like I'm contemplating, like, what do I do? Do I say something about this, or do I just stay focused on the baby?
Yeah, what would you do? What would Reinhardt do?
I stand up while still carrying the baby,
Okay.
and I walk out of the ship and head towards heads towards set.
Okay, that's what you do. Cock, do you want to try to make a roll to get out of this drawer?
Yeah.
Alright, what would that even be? I guess acrobatics roll. Dritchie will hold out a hand to help, but she's not strong enough to really give any assistance.
17.
Alright, you manage to slip your way out. You you fall on the ground a little bit, but you make it look cool.
I do jazz hands as I hop up.
Meanwhile, back outside, outside like 10 feet of the shuttle, Set and this admiral-looking person are speaking.
Admiral Bing Bong.
Excuse me?
No, I was saying that in my head.
Oh.
You didn't hear any of that.
Well, we're willing to offer you temporary dorms for rest while we prepare to head back to Elfir.
Indeed.
We will need to, once you guys get settled in a bit, and I need to get this voice to sound older. Once we have you all settled in a bit, we will need to debrief, and then we'll even host you for dinner. We have one of the best cooks in the fleet on board the ship.
Sounds lovely. I do believe, however, our pilot has places to be and will be leaving once everyone who is getting off is off the ship.
Of course. She seems... He looks sort of past you towards the
How do you know
huge
it's
group
a,
of people.
How do you know it's a she?
Well, he can just see, looking in, the shuttle's not big enough to hide the cockpit.
Oh, okay.
And also, she is currently stood right behind Reinhardt as he's dangling the keys, just death glaring him, trying to get the keys back.
I like to give the keys back.
She doesn't want to wake the baby up, so she's not being like aggressive, but she's just looking at him like, "Give me those fucking keys."
I'm like trying to do those military gestures to Rhino. Give the keys.
Who all do you expect to be staying?
At least the survivors of the research facility. I do not know about the orcs, and obviously the pilot will not be staying. And yeah, essentially that. So I'd believe there, for sure, 7 of us.
Perfect. Okay. Well,
And a baby, so 8.
I see. Survivors.
Oh, most likely 9. I forgot about someone. My bad.
Well, regardless of the number, we have the rooms to spare. I should formally introduce myself. I am Ring Fleet Admiral Trinick.
Right.
Yeah, I know we've only been talking for a few minutes, but it feels as though it's been a week or something. Did you introduce yourself to me? It must be my older brain going.
I believe I introduced myself to the people who I answered the communication from. Whether they shared my name to you or not, I do not know.
Nah, I believe that communication happened as I was walking down here.
And give me a moment. I want to see what you listed as my official job title on the ship was.
Okay.
Spec ops, right?
I think so, but it's
I think
written on
we're
the
both
campaign
spec ops.
information. I just want to.
Yeah, we're both spec ops.
Yeah,
Spec ops.
I gotta fucking update.
We're special ops, I guess.
Special Operations Officer Erebus.
Ah, yes, I've heard of you. Leon was very excited when he hired you.
Well, I can't remember. This isn't like in-game conversation, but this is just between me and you as DM. I can't remember. I'm technically here as a spy from Vegarok, right? To keep an eye on what the Elfir government is doing with the Ring Fleet.
I don't think that's exactly right. I think that you were so good as a spy for Vegarok, you got hired by the Ring Fleet. But
But I'm also like sending information back to them.
Yeah, so it's kind of like an unofficial triple agent move. So Trinick turns towards two of the soldiers and says, "Ebo, take Balon back and start preparing for these people to stay here." And the armored suit nods, and then they do a military turn and begin marching off. You can see now that you're looking around, Set, similar to the ship that you took off from. This is like this is a huge hangar bay. At one point, this held thousands of ships that were, preparing for battle. Now it's much more bare. It's pretty much just your ship, a few others, but you can see sort of hidden away in the back what you think to be sort of the outline, sort of blue color of the Vindicta. And yeah, you notice your former ship.
Yes, I believe you mentioned you had stumbled across the Vindicta in space, and I can't remember if you mentioned if there were survivors on board or not.
Yes, the pilot, Jade Lianu. She is alive and well, however. She had great head wounds, so we brought her to the medic bay. But once we have dinner, I will take her to you myself.
All right.
And he nods very deeply. There was another as well, a doctor. I believe he had something to do with this research facility, but...
Dr. Banks.
Yes, he's been far less willing to speak to us. We've, for the time being, had to put him inside the prison cells, and... Well, perhaps we can speak with him as well, the two of us.
Perhaps indeed.
Alright, well, are your people ready?
I turn around. Are they ready?
Well, you see...
Well, I'm already out there, right?
Yeah, you see Reinhardt walking out with a baby. Anastasia, or not Anastasia, Maddie Winter's step. When you turn around, she stands as if she was standing the whole time and just salutes you.
I know, because I had turned around to like glance at Reinhardt
Yeah.
earlier. He was playing with the baby. I know what you're saying, but I ignore it for her.
Yeah.
And I just salute back, and I guess I head back on
what's the guy's name? The Admiral?
TikTok. I don't remember.
It's Trinick.
Trinick.
All right.
Yeah, TikTok.
I walk... Just because I was military, I could tell that he was an admiral by the uniform.
Yeah.
So I walk up while holding a baby. I salute and say, Special Operations Officer Leon Reinhardt, reporting for duty. Sir.
Ah, yes. The famed crew of the Vindicta. I have done quite a bit of research. I look forward to hearing what exactly happened down there on Zokra Prime. Cock and Vaughn, are you guys exiting the shuttle?
Yeah, when Cock exited the drawer, there was so much pressure built up from him trying to push himself out that he just launched out of the ship.
Okay.
I was gonna say he let out a massive fart or something.
I
Flies away.
Erebus, I guess now because I don't have to be set anymore, goes back onto the ship and gets Anastasia and anyone else who is coming with us and brings them out.
Okay. Yeah, Anastasia and...
Can I ask a question to the Admiral?
Yeah?
I ask him, do you have caretakers that take care of children on board the ship?
Oh, is this not your child?
It is not. We encountered baby lost in a ship, so we took the responsibility of taking care of the
baby. We don't even know if his parents were still there or not. We just fucking took a baby.
Okay, he
I didn't say any of that part out loud.
Until we could figure out who the child's parents were.
Who's the children's children?
Yeah, the children's children.
The Admiral turns towards the final trooper behind him. Benno, take this child to Valerie. She will look it over and make sure that none of the planet's illnesses have infected it. And the trooper steps forward, puts his hands out.
I hand out the baby.
He takes it very carefully, nods at you, and then turns and begins walking off. All right, well, I guess that leaves me to take you to your rooms.
All right, did Devon come off?
Yep.
The ship?
Yep.
I lean over
Yep.
to Devon, and I say, "Are the orcs coming with us?"
It seems like they're gonna stick with Madam and see where they end up with that. But I have this bird here, Twinkle, which will allow me to communicate with them at any point. Or at least they will be informed of what we are doing. Maybe it won't be communication, but
I wish them luck in their endeavors. Then
Yeah, and as you were stepping off, Devon, you would have overheard that Jamal and Miss Wish have come to some sort of agreement where he will help her with some job, and that will be the payment to get them to the Starforge.
okay.
And then
That
they'll
seems
figure
fair.
things out from there. And yeah, as Cheros and Anastasia step off, the Admiral looks quite bewildered at what the fuck Cheros is. Who is this creature?
it will be in the debriefing. So
He looks towards you. Ah, understood. Well, please. And Cheros, you can see, has the giant rock in his hands, as clearly at some point he noticed. Alright, you guys head throughout the ship. As you're walking through the hangar bay, everyone but Cock can now notice the Vindicta, sort of in the right-hand side of the huge hangar bay. There's like a bit of a tarp over it, but not really, so you can see the paint, the painted-on name, Vindicta. And yeah, I actually have... Hold on, let's see if I can... This isn't exactly what it looks like, but I have a bait. Fuck, this is the low-res version of it. Alright, this is like the basic shape of it. It doesn't look perfect, but that's the idea I have of the Vindicta. And if I ever get around to finishing the fucking episode versions of this, I'll put it in the fucking video. So you guys walk through, you exit the hangar bay through these large steel doors, and you're walking down like a classic spaceship hallway, and then you turn down left where there is a long row of what looks to be like dorm rooms essentially on board the ship. And he takes you to about the middle of this area, where there's like not like a meeting room, but like where people would wake up in the morning, pour themselves some coffee, and that sort of thing. And along that passage, there's a line of rooms, and he points to them. Yes, get yourself comfortable, and when you're ready, we will prepare for the debrief. Anything else you all need?
no, Captain Admiral.
All right.
No, thank you.
You have a fridge for this chicken.
Oh, that is get rid of the poisonous chicken, man.
That.
He points, and you can see in the sort of wake up area, there is like a kitchen that you can see a fridge in.
Oh no.
Yes, sir. That'd be interesting to have for dinner. We haven't had anything like that on board.
No, it is poisonous.
Oh.
This one isn't.
We still have no
You
idea
do not
why
know
he
which
has
one
it.
is poisonous or not.
You say this one is as you juggle both of them in your hands. So yeah, Trinick leaves, and you guys. Seems as though the doors have been unlocked for you guys to enter. You can pick which rooms you want, but
I turn. Okay. For me, at least, I turn to Devon and Reinhardt as the two people who are actually like part of the Vindicta crew and not the unofficial, the ambassador who isn't part of the crew officially.
Maddie is also part of the crew.
Oh,
so-
and Maddie.
Yeah.
I forgot she was with us. Maddie, and I guess Anastasia, because she was assigned to the research facility.
yeah, she's technically a part of like Ring Intelligence, but like a very low down, other than the research, she doesn't know much of what's going on.
And I'm like, shall we prepare the report for the Admiral?
I think so, yeah.
Good idea.
Was at any point Erebus aware of the data that the captain gave to Devon?
Yeah, I believe Devon mentioned it for sure.
All right, then I guess I say, should we hand the admiral the data disk from the captain, or should we wait till we get to Elfia and hand it further up the chain? Nick?
Everyone stares at him blankly.
Nah, let's just give it to the captain.
Then I guess, can I roll to see how well we do on this report?
I mean, you don't have to roll. You just, when the time comes, you can tell him.
Well, I mean, like, could we like prepare some like official documents?
Sure, yeah. I mean, you can roll for that.
Could we have? Who's the best at history?
Not me.
I
It's
have mine.
Reinhardt.
I have a +4.
Yeah, and then with your keen mind, it also makes sense that you're the one who writes the report.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
What?
write it.
We give the help action, so you have advantage as we discuss this over.
Okay. Oh, so you want me to roll for it?
Yeah, just to see how well we do.
I don't even need the advantage. Jesus, natural 20, so 24.
Woo!
Yay! Perfect documents.
Okay.
Perfect.
And as you guys are doing this, Cheros heads into one of the rooms and just closes the door.
Finally, I have perfect handwriting.
Okay, yeah, what else do you guys want to do?
After
Well, the fact that I haven't showered in over a week, I'm gonna go do that.
Okay.
that's exactly what I was going to say. I'm going to go shower and get all this blood red dye out of my fur.
Okay, so
I'll do the
as you guys head inside each of your rooms,
I'm also gonna wash my clothes because I like my outfit.
this is
Wow,
sort of
like
what the inside of the rooms look like. There's also a TV in them, so if any of you want to watch TV or see what's going on, it won't be like great channels, like there won't be like immense entertainment, but there's a news group called The Network, which is sort of basically the Omega Astria's Fox News, which does like 24/7 coverage on what's going on in the galaxy. There are other networks as well, but they don't do it as often.
after my shower, I'll turn on the news.
Okay. Cock, as Drigi is sort of hanging around you a bit, maybe a bit too much, she just sort of like whispers to herself like, "We can't stay here long. I need to get to somewhere I can't hurt people." You're not sure if she's talking to you or not. It just sounds like she's mumbling to herself, but you're close enough to hear it.
I look at her somewhat uneasily.
She sees you looking at her, then feels seen and walks towards one of the rooms and closes the door.
The hallway is big enough that if I summon my boy, it's not gonna create a giant tortoise-sized dent in the walls, right?
No. they are built for people to walk down. Also, I doubt that the people on board the ship would be happy with a giant turtle other than the one you are.
I'll keep that to my room then.
Okay, so everyone goes to their rooms. Reinhardt takes a shower, and
I'm gonna drop the chicken off in the fridge first.
okay, fair enough.
On my way out, I would like to go into the fridge and just put a note that says "Do not eat. Might be poisonous" on both chicken
On
containers.
both of them. Yeah. All right, perfect. Yeah.
I'm also now back to my completely black fur.
Okay, so in the shower you get the dye out. How long do you shower for, Reinhardt?
5 minutes.
All right, quick shower. You get out, turn on the TV as you're drying yourself off,
And my clothes.
yeah, drying off your clothes. Wait, you showered in your clothes?
No, I mean,
You're just putting them back
threw them
on.
in the wash before I entered the shower.
I got
Okay.
that 2-minute wash in space. These days.
Yeah,
Crazy.
you're probably still naked as they're cleaning. If you're taking a 5-minute shower, so you've got like a towel wrapped around you as you turn on the TV or something like that. So yeah, the first thing that you see, you're like in the middle of a news broadcast where you can see that it looks like a pro-robot rally is happening at the palace on Elfir. People with like signs and loud megaphones are yelling out like, "Production is at an all-time low. We need our workers back," and stuff like that.
Get in the factory, bitch.
And there is also a report about a drug that everyone on the lowlands of Vegarok are getting addicted to these days. And there's like a concerned parent talking about, "Oh, the kids do nothing but drugs these days."
2 seconds after I leave the planet, it all goes to shit.
They bring the cool drugs after I leave. God damn it. And then last but not least, you're sort of watching for a while as your clothes are drying. You see a unfortunate announcement that there was the passing of a great leader, the Anno Fleet highest priestess, Lady Wara, and an Aasimar female, so basically like half angel, half human, is stood behind a stand with a microphone coming out, and there's other priests behind her, and she says, "We are saddened today by the death of our highest priestess. Lady Wara exemplified everything it means to be a devout follower of the anomaly, and in her memory and honor, we will continue our mission of reminding the galaxy of its importance. Every day is another opportunity to pursue its truths and understand its great teachings." And this sort of goes on, and then ding! You hear your clothes have dried, and you may put it on. So yeah, this is probably like an hour and a half. All this happens as you guys prepare, and around that time, you begin hearing. Probably, I'll say, Set has the closest room, so you hear a knock on the door.
I think my passive perception's gone up. It's now 17.
Yeah, so you hear a knock on the door, really loud.
Oh, jeez.
Passive perception allows you to hear that.
I guess, even though I'm like on a friendly ship, I walk up to the door. Is there like a peephole or something?
Yeah, there's like essentially a peephole.
I look through it.
Okay, you see one of the armored soldiers that you saw last time, but this time they had their helmet off, and you see a human man.
I open the door.
It opens up. "The Admiral has requested time for a debrief.
Indeed.
Can you gather your group?"
Yes, I can.
He nods and steps aside.
I go fully packed with all my weapons. Don't trust nobody. I go door to door, get those who I guess I need to get. I see if Anastasia, Cheros, and Drigi want to come, but I assume they're not necessarily important for the debrief, so I don't.
Anastasia asks if she should come because she's not sure.
I myself am not entirely sure. I think
Perhaps a first-hand account would be helpful.
yes, indeed, it most likely will. You were in the lab for the start of it. We were asleep.
All right,
So yes,
she
I believe
agrees
she's
to come. The other two won't bother. Drigi is not happy with herself, and Cheros, when you open up his door, he's practicing karate with the rock.
I,
Yeah.
you know,
Need some
in a
money.
moment of I guess sympathy for him and all he's done, I pull up the longbow and the blinding arrows and I just toss them over to him.
Oh, nice. He looks at you, acknowledges it, and just like, oh, thank you.
Use these wisely, my friend.
I will. Wait, are these the ones that the guy used to?
Yes,
Oh.
these are the blinding arrows.
The
That's
Big
what I said
Bang.
use. So use them wisely, because if they don't get used wisely, I will.
He touches it, and explodes in his eyes now.
No.
All right, yeah, he's very thankful for that gift. All right, so you guys all agree for the debrief?
Hell yeah.
All right, so this character you learn is Ebo Tonkin, who's the current commander of this ship that you learn is called the Warrant. So he's basically just sort of giving you a basic idea of, you know, his crew were called out to basically come help in in a moment's notice. They had to get on board the Warrant and help out with this mission. They weren't sure what exactly it was, but when they arrived, they saw the Vindicta, and all this happened, and now they're sort of figuring it out as they go. Trinick hasn't been super open about what's going on. So yeah, you guys head back down the hallway. You head past the hangar bay and towards an area where you can see a bunch of rooms, but you're not quite sure. You think maybe this is like higher up, where the higher ups sleep. You head past a much larger kitchen that you can see a cook inside of, and then like a cargo hold across from it, and then there's a section right before like the main deck where there's a large meeting room, and inside you can see the Admiral Trinick, a female elf also in the black armor, who's taken her mask off, and a much bigger, stronger looking soldier with his mask off, and this is a Triton, so the underwater people, and he has got like a big coral beard. He looks very tough. Oh, yes, perfect. Okay, everyone sit down and let's get down to business. I want to hear everything.
I hand him the detailed report that we made.
Okay, you hand him the report. Do you give him the disc?
Yes.
Okay, you hand him over the disc. What is this?
This is a disc that our faithful captain wanted us to deliver to you.
Oh,
Not you particularly, but fleet intelligence.
Yes. A person with more intelligence and command than we have.
Authority.
Exactly. Thank you. That's the word.
I can't. We've done so many episodes of this. Did you guys ever actually interact with the disc, or did you just carry it with you? Okay.
We literally just carried it with us.
I never gave a shit about it, to be honest.
Okay.
We never figured out what it was. We
I
literally.
remember hearing you try to sell it once.
The Admiral holds it out. Well, we should see what's so important about this. And he clicks a little button on the side, and then whoosh, a blue hologram appears above the disc of what you assume, at least Set and probably Reinhardt have interacted with this person. You see Dr. Mason Banks, and he's leaned over some sort of console, and you can hear what sounds like gunfire in the background. And then he says,
Mr. Panelor, sir, I have managed a reverse DNA search on the creature we discovered on Zolkar Prime. When I say there is something alien about it, that is an understatement. Alien to even our own galaxy. But my brief time in the ancient history branch of the company brings something to mind. I believe this creature to have dragon ancestry, sir.
and then there's like a small explosion in the background. He looks and then turns back.
Sir, something long lost in the annals of history. The origin is unknown to our basic scholars, but this is the start of something bigger. Van, whatever this enemy is that attacks us now, you cannot let them have this creature. You need to get this information to the rest of the ring.
And then there's a bigger explosion. He looks, you can hear someone yelling at the crew members of the Vindicta. It sounds like Leon is yelling in the background.
The fate of the entire Omega Astria could rely on it, but I would not ask this of you if I did not know you were capable. One more thing.
And then a much bigger explosion. It sounds like 2 sheets of metal shoot off and slam into the wall next to him, and he is turning to get away from this huge thing crushing him. And then you hear a female voice say,
They are inside! We must head for the ship! Leon, take...
and then there's a bigger explosion. And the thing just shuts off.
Well,
Here we go again.
The Admiral just holds his chin, looking pensive.
I told you the briefing would hold more details about our friend who you didn't know what he was.
The strange creature. What do you mean?
He was, I believe, the artifact that was found at the research facility.
Oh,
We prevented
Big rock.
the tiefling leading what we believe to be changeling mercenaries or the changeling army from seizing him at the Dolphin research facility, and we kept him safe until such time as we were able to leave the planet.
the Triton speaks up. A tiefling? Changelings? What are you talking about?
Well, the facility was attacked, as it says in the report, by a group of mask-wearing people who we inferred were hailing from the Nyx planet, so most logically they were changelings, though we cannot confirm, for upon their suit being ruptured, they evaporated into gas. They were being led by Tiefling, who I might have the name of in my notes.
I might just remember on the top of my head. Dylan?
Trifon? Trifon?
Okay, if you have it written in your notes, then you would all know, and that means that Reinhardt would remember. It was Typhon.
Typhon. That's what I had, but I put an R in there for some reason.
That's okay. The Admiral says, how did they get to the planet? How did they
ship.
know?
From what we can infer, the relic came over in a spaceship that came out of the anomaly and crash landed onto Zolkor Prime. Nyx, being the closest planet to the anomaly, most likely had researchers who were able to detect it exiting and followed it to Zolkor Prime.
There's a bit of a gasp from the Commander Ebo that you were talking to. This is grave. So this creature on board our ship, it seems he is very important.
According to him, his name is Cheros, and he is a being who has a life cycle sort of like a phoenix. He dies and comes back to life from the ashes, all in an unending war against, I believe, someone called Hydroxel, who he claims is the evil one. Whether we can confirm or deny this state of beings of either Cheros or Hydroxel is left to be seen, though I do not believe Cheros to be evil.
Well, it seems from the brief moment I saw him exiting the ship, he seems, for the moment, docile. We must keep an eye on him, though, if he truly is.
When we first met him, he was but a child. When he put this cloak on, he became an adult. It was very strange.
This is a lot to think of. These people that attacked, the enemy that Dr. Banks speaks of, perhaps if they do come from Nyx, then there is something going on, a plot behind the scenes. What was their vessel? What did it look like? Was it a crystal ship? Black?
Indeed.
Ah, yes. I fear this. Well, perhaps it's time I tell you a bit of our story. And he looks at the crew around the table. We would have arrived sooner, however. Vanril, the current leader of Elfir, he received an audio message from Leon Adrian about a week ago, saying that things were going well, and he and his crew required another week. Vanril wasn't pleased, but agreed to give him the time because he trusts Leon. However, about 3 days later, the network, which is the news station, released this video. And he presses a button on his desk, and then another hologram emits. And you can see footage of one of these large black crystal ships, similar to the ones that you guys saw. But this time, it's somewhere else. You think it's nearby Zulkur Prime, based off of the video footage. But you can see it gunning down 2 other warships similar to the ones that it fought off above Zulkur Prime. And then the huge wave of green energy pulses out before the camera cuts off. The footage came from just outside the ruins of Aor nearby here. After this, the fleet instructions was to bring a full force to Zulkur Prime, but then he begins playing another video. A holographic image. 4 of these large black crystal ships parked just in between Genlaris and Megru 5. Are we on the map? Yeah, okay, we're on the map on Roll20.
Hey.
And then the footage sort of speeds up for a second, the hologram, and the ships then actively are attacking the giant space station called the Grey Forge, which is the largest station in the galaxy. Vanral had no choice. He had to send the fleet to help. What do you know of these assailants? Are they the corrupt legion? Are those bastards trying to reignite the war?
Early. Let me see what I wrote down. I do not know if they wish to restart the war or if they're truly just after the artifact. They could be under the influence of this hydroxyl that Choros speaks of, and his desire to rule the Omega Astria.
Well, regardless, we need to get this information back to the ring. There is one problem with that for now, though. I've been speaking with our pilot and our engineer, and it appears one of our engines were damaged on our way here. We're going to need to repair it before we can start heading back to Elfir, but I'm not sure how long this will take. As he says this, Anastasia raises her hand. I'm not an engineer, but I have worked on ships like this before. Perhaps there's something I can do to help.
Only we had bought a ship. There I go.
Boom.
The admiral looks towards Anastasia, smile on his face, thinks for a moment, then looks towards Ebo. Ebo, perhaps you can take her there right now, and we can have her get a good look at it. Anything to help. We need to get back to Elfir as soon as possible. Ebo stands. Are you sir right now, sir? Yes, quickly. And he motions towards Anastasia, and she looks at you all for approval.
A nod.
Thumbs up.
She gets up. you all give her a nod and a thumbs up. And they head off. The door opens and they walk out. Okay, well she should be able to help Gary. Hopefully we can get this thing back up.
Yes, Gary, the best modder in the business.
Yes. The finest in all the fleet. Well, is there anything else? Anything else you can tell us? What happened after the attack? How did you all survive?
Well, we were able to make our way on foot to Nox Hollow, where we uncovered a plot of the Scarlet Sisterhood.
I have not heard of the Scarlet Sisterhood.
I cannot remember what the witchy sisterhood name was. I have the letter from Morgana still, so would that tell me?
Yeah, it's the Sisterhood of Blood.
The Sisterhood of Blood attempting to open a portal to the Dangery Plane and rediscover their lost member.
Good God. Or, sorry, good gods, maybe.
Well, we were fortunately enough, we were able to stop it and close the portal and put an end to a zombie apocalypse taking place in Nox Hollow.
Wow, you all have been busy. I'm glad that you made it out alive. He says this and then slowly turns his head in the direction of the Tortle Priest. And what of this one? This is the ambassador from the fleet, yes?
Yes.
Hello.
Is there any information that you have that could help us in investigating what exactly is going on with all of this?
Oh, if this is quite information that would help you, but I've been having some visions.
Yes, I've heard that your Anno Fleet folk are known for that on occasion.
We are predisposed to visions, whether they are drug-induced or not. Mine haven't been. One of them was sex-induced. But that's
The Triton laughs when you say that.
Ah, this guy gets it. I died for a little bit. Anyway, I also seem to have some connection with the dragon guy.
This Cheros your friend speaks of. Interesting. Perhaps a bond, magically or otherwise. He writes something down on a piece of paper. Maybe your connection with the fleet, with the anomaly, it ties you some way. This is all things we can think about. Good. Well, is there anything else? Any more information I need perhaps before I guess, prepare for dinner?
I don't think so.
Well, then you may head back to your rooms or whatever it is you wish to do. After dinner, I will come by personally and escort any of you who want to speak with your former pilot. And perhaps, if I feel it is safe, we can talk to this Dr. Banks about this creature you bring with you. Sound good?
Yes, it does.
Yes, sir.
Alright, well, you've got a few hours. Do with it what you will. I will send one of my men when dinner is in full force. But yeah, you guys are allowed to step out of the room. You've got like 2-3 hours before dinner. What sort of things would you guys like to get up to?
I would like to go with Maddie to the armory to try to get a better weapon.
Okay.
I will follow. Maybe I could get a better stick. Staff.
Dabber.
Upgraded staff. Viber staff.
Cock, what would you like to do?
I want to spend some time looking over the stuff that I found in the... or robbed from the science station, and then
Okay.
go prophesize about the anomaly to strangers.
Okay, so do you want to go back to your room?
Yeah, I'll go back to my room and look.
The potion salesman got off the ship with us, right?
Oh yeah, I fucking forgot
He just
about him.
leave.
Yeah, he definitely did. He's just been quiet because this is all official business.
Yes, business. Have you seen my lizard?
Yeah. Fuck, I totally forgot about Timbly Bibbs coming with you.
I think most of us do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's a lot of people to keep track of. Okay, so 3 of you plus Maddie head to the armory. We will do that first. So you sort of, do you mention that you're going to the armory to anybody, or do you just go? Because you don't really know where it is.
Maddie's the weapon expert, so I trust the first thing she did on the ship was figure out where the armory was.
She actually mentions it to the Triton, who carries a big gun with him, so she assumes he's the weapons expert on board. And he nods and says, I can show you the way, but I don't know if I'm allowed to give you guys weapons. You're not my crew.
But we are special operations.
Yeah, that's true, but these weapons are supposed to be for us. It's the only problem.
And how would you suppose we rearm after being stuck on a planet for a week and a half?
Well, once you guys head back to Elfir, you should be able to get whatever you want from the fleet. They're gonna owe you a big payday for all you've done. Risking your lives in more ways than one. Second that mission went tits up, you didn't have to come back, but you did. I respect it.
Thank you. Never leave a job undone.
Of course. And it seems like this guy you brought back with you could be very important. Perhaps this is how we get back to whatever this galaxy is supposed to be.
Can we at least use your armory to improve our own weapons that we have?
Yeah, I don't see much harm in that, but just keep it off the books, if you know what I'm saying. And he sort of nods over towards his commander.
I look him dead in the eyes, and I'm like, you know exactly what you mean.
Right. Okay. And yeah, he travels with you towards the armory.
As I pull out my thieves' coat out. Oh, let's see. Any jobs to steal stuff on with?
So what exactly do you guys want?
Well, I did want to see if I could like requisition like a better pistol, but if we, because mine's currently 1d8, right, from the demon upgrade.
I think that was you selling the mirror that got you that.
That was the money. I got a bunch of money from that.
Didn't he give you a pistol?
Yeah, I think he gave you a pistol as well.
And the gun?
Yeah.
Okay. But
yeah, oh yeah, because it was for the kiss.
Oh yeah, I kissed him for a gun. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I just haven't upgraded it yet because I don't know how.
I think I can do that. What about the rest of you? Reinhardt, what are you looking for in the armory?
Yeah, let's see if there's any upgrades I can make to this vibro staff. Are there like components to like attach to it? Maybe make it stronger, hit better, faster.
Like what specifically are you looking for? Like
if it's just a wooden stick, maybe we could coat it in metal to make it hit harder.
Well, it's like a metal staff with it's got like taser things on either end, so it's kind of already a pretty special weapon. But like, is there anything particular like, oh, I want my staff to do this, or I want, you know?
Man, I didn't think it that through.
Yeah.
Really...
well, for me, I would just wonder if I could somehow improve the damage output, so it could, instead of 1d8, it's 2d6s.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, I think I have to create a upgraded version of it. What's your idea?
Maybe adding like a blade to one end of it to make it like do more damage for like a exactly like that. Add like a forged blade to one end. Is that possible?
I'll say yeah, it's possible.
But they don't have the material to do it here.
It's more like it might throw off your fighting style a little bit. Like it would be difficult to use a staff with a huge blade on it in the way that you fight with it, which is a much quicker.
I mean, it's not like a huge blade. I just add like a sharp, like small spot to it where it, like I could just go fast enough with it and just slice the guy's throat or something.
It sounds like you just want like a dagger you can have on your side or something.
I guess that could work.
Or like a short sword or something.
I mean, I do have a proficiency in short swords, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Bino will let you take a short sword if you want one.
Okay, that's fine.
Could we like upgrade it into like a +1 version of it, where you just get +1 bonus damage or something?
Of the short sword or the staff?
The staff.
Yeah, we could do that if you want to do that instead. Sorry,
How would
I'm
I?
a bit scatterbrained right now because I'm trying to fucking edit this gun.
Sorry.
Is there anything in particular that you want, Devon?
Maybe could I upgrade it to? You know what? You know what's something cool that we never use in D&D? That would be kind of cool to use here. Is that I flip a coin and it does a certain dice roll depending on which one it lands on. Could I do that?
Sure. What kind of
I think that could it be like a D? I feel like it would be just the boomerang in general would be upgraded, maybe like a little heavier, like maybe a D6 to a D12.
Oh, does it do a D4 now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can do a D6 to a D12 based off of a
Which
coin
side of the
roll. I like
which side of the boomerang hits?
Yeah.
Bring them out. Bring them out.
I have no idea how I can make an item that does that, but we can figure something out. Yeah, I think it's going to take me making another item, so I'm going to do that later. Okay. Anything else you guys wanted from the armory?
No, I guess that was it if we can't take anything.
I'll say, because Reinhardt got a short sword, you can take like a basic weapon if you want one.
I lost my 2 daggers on this adventure, so I finally pick up a new dagger.
Okay, you pick up new daggers. That's fair. All right, let's go over to Cock, who heads back to his room and begins to look through the stuff you stole. So you stole like books, right? You stole all that books about the ancient societies.
Yep.
A lot of it, I have to describe this from the perspective of a slightly crazy religious person. You probably believe most of the stuff you read in these books. There's a lot of fantastical stuff about people who, because so much of history is seemingly gone from the Omega Astria, a lot of people like to come up with their ideas of what past societies were like. So there's a lot of different theories on like, did humans come first? Did elves come first? And then there's a story about how elves actually created humans, and then because elves and humans, committed coitus, that's how they spawned dwarves, and then they discovered the other races as they were traveling through, and then they took over the planet of Elfir. That's one theory. There's a theory about how there are these grander beings similar to how you view the anomaly, but like they're not like gods per se. They're mortals that have achieved greater being, and look down upon the galaxy. Not just this one. If there's any other galaxies, they look down upon them as like lesser, and one day they might come back and act upon these feelings. And they're described as there's not really a great name for what they are in like common tongue, but in do you know Orc as a language?
I do speak Orc, yes.
Yeah, the Orcs refer to these beings as Titans, not the Titan that was on Zulkrul Prime, but they're kind of viewed as like, the Orcs don't like them. They're viewed as like fucking freaks, like mutated creatures that became too big for their boots. But the Orcs are wary of a return. But again, is this stuff true? You kind of believe it because you believe everything, but also these are like rival beings to the anomaly, so you're also like, they're not that great. You kind of believe the Orc propaganda a bit as you're reading this. But yeah, is there anything in particular you're looking for as you look through these books? Anything you would like stop and really focus on?
You said there was something about languages when we last.
Yeah, the book that Dr. Banks was focusing on that had something to do with these ancient things called dragons. there was a section on how to decipher the draconic language. It's a very complex. It would take quite a bit of time to sort of sit down and try to figure it out yourself. But it definitely intrigues you.
Very good, yes. I will keep that in mind. Maybe drop by Timbly Bibbs. Ask him if he would like to learn some Draconic.
Okay, so you walk towards Timbly Bibbs' room. As you're doing that, you see out in the hallway, sort of walking by with what basically is like a bucket on wheels, but it's like a sci-fi bucket, so it's like square, sleek black, with a mop inside, and you see like an older human man like walking by, and he sees you and he's like, "Oh, hello."
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing all.
Chicken.
I'm doing all right. And you're the people from the other crew, huh?
Well, I was aboard the ship. Yes, not quite crewing, but I did do a mean jig on board.
You survived Zokra Prime, and you brought the creature with you, yes?
Oh, yes.
Oh, well, don't let me stop you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I love you. Oh, I mean, you too.
Cock, give me a perception roll.
I got a 9.
A 9?
Yep.
Okay, as he rolls past you with this bucket, and it looks like he's headed down somewhere, you hear like something falling onto the ground. Very minor. You're not sure where it came from, and he just goes down the hallway.
I will look around to see if I see anything.
Okay, investigation check.
14.
Okay, you look around. On the ground, from where he sort of passed you with the bucket, there is a small key card looking thing lying on the ground.
I will take it.
Alright, you pick it up. It is a key card that unlocks one of the cells on board the ship, cell 105. He keeps going. Do you mention anything to him, or do you just go about your day?
I'll look around to see if there are any cameras.
Okay. Yeah, there are definitely cameras. Security cameras, obviously.
Take it anyway.
There's a Twitch streamer down the other hallway.
Hey guys, it's
Hey guys, let's go. That's how I
I'll-
start every Twitch stream.
Hey guys, it's your boy.
I'll run back up to him.
Okay, you run up to him. Oh,
Sir, I believe you dropped this.
he looks at it. Thank you. He grabs it. Clumsy old me.
Wallet.
As he turns, you can see there's like a damn it, a look in his face, and he keeps going with the bucket. Yeah, you head over to Timbly Bibbs' room.
I will knock.
Yeah, you knock on the door. You hear, you hear what sounds like like a glass fall over. He runs over. The door opens. Perfect, you're here. Continued production of the potions he asked me to make. Let's see. He pulls out 2 special potions. He's labeled them with question marks. No idea what you'll get, but should be fun. And he hands you 2 of the random potions.
Nice. Yoink.
So, how long are we staying on this ship? I thought we were getting our own.
Probably not too long. They're taking us closer to Elfir, so advantageous to be on board.
Okay, perfect. Well, just let me know when you need me to get packed up again. Just thought I'd get some production done while we're not really doing anything.
Yep, very, very good. Do you have any interest in the Draconic language at all? If
what?
not, that's perfectly fine, but, you know...
Well, it's not that I don't have any interest. I have no idea what that is.
You know the Cheros? He speaks it. I speak it. You could also speak it. Probably no one else in this galaxy speaks it.
Oh, wow, that's exciting. I was gonna ask what he was, but everyone's been so quiet about it. I assumed I wasn't supposed to. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he is of ancient royal blood, and most, if not all, of his family's dead.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, I won't bring it up then. That sucks for him.
Yes. Not the most happy of times.
Right. Well, sure. I mean, it'll postpone production, but I could give it a read.
Sounds good. I could help you out as well, if you need it. Otherwise, you're free to peruse at your own leisure.
Yeah, I feel like once we get our own ship set up and I can get like a real production going, maybe we could hire a few employees and really start a business here.
Yes. Good.
Traveling potion salesman.
Get a monopoly on the potion sales.
Well, I don't know about all that, but we could try our best. You're putting the bar pretty high, goddamn. Immediately jump to a monopoly. Yeah.
Monopoly?
Alright. He walks back to your room with you. And I guess you spend the next few hours until dinner reading books with him.
Yeah,
What?
also earlier I summoned my tortoise in my room. So, like, when I open the door, his face is, like, 2 inches from the door.
It's like a cat trying to get out. He just can't.
Trying to squeeze through the door. Help me, please.
You have to spray him with a bottle of water. Get out! Move! Give us a place to sit.
As soon as Monopoly was mentioned, my head just appeared around the corner. Illegal activities? A Monopoly? Ooh, I'm in. Let's do it.
Let me in on that. Yeah. After you guys are done at the armory, where would you head?
Back to our rooms. I need to, I guess, now that we have access to the wider world, start doing my own research onto what the fuck's happening to my family.
Okay. What about Reinhardt and Devon? Do you have anything on board the ship that intrigues you that you want to check out?
Did the orcs leave?
Yeah, you assume so. There hasn't been any discussion about it, but it seemed like after you guys got off the shuttle, they were about to take off.
I guess I will just go back to my room, but I want to, like, work out, because another goal my character has is to get their strength up, because they've always been kind of pitiful in terms of that, considering their race.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
1,000 push-ups, 10,000 sit-ups, 10-hour plank.
It's the orc way.
Yep.
Sounds good. Reinhardt?
I'm gonna go back to my room and turn the news back on.
Alright. You all head back to your rooms and wait till dinner.
So I roll investigation to see how I do.
Sure. I assume you're using the Thieves app?
That and, like, flipping through news channels, see if I can see anything on there. If there's, like, a computer I can access in the room, I start, like, looking up, not specific, but, like, going through back ways that I know to, like, see what I can find without giving away where I'm trying to be stealthy about this, so...
Mm-hmm. You don't want to give away that you're looking, but you want to look. Okay.
4.
Okay. Yeah, you think you find something when the trail runs cold pretty quickly. Part of the problem is the area of space you're in is pretty far away from Vegarok. So if you want more information on it, probably once you get to Elfir, it'd be a lot easier to get more information on what's going on.
Just go to do like a quick scroll through of the Thieves Code to make sure there's no like, see if there's any contracts out on me or anything out on my family or like Troy, just to like double check.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, you want to make another investigation roll? That's a bit more complicated, obviously. Like, trying to figure out if there's a contract out on you takes a lot more work because the Thieves app works really hard to keep contracts secret in that way.
Well, I figured it was more like Uber, where like they're just open for anyone until someone takes it.
You take a job to kill yourself.
But yeah. All right, let's see. 9. I don't know why I'm investigating. I have 0 investigation.
It's worth it in case you roll high. But yeah, you don't really find anything in particular. Whatever is happening, they're trying to do it in secret. You feel.
While I was looking, did I see any job offers for me specifically?
No job offers, but you do get a message from an unknown contact that is basically like, I heard the Erebus is back in business. Is this true?
I just respond with a
fire emoji.
For the right price.
Okay, you respond for the right price, and you await a response. I
know I shouldn't have responded to that, most likely, but
well, it could be good money. Reinhardt, as you check the news, nothing else really stands out to you of what's going on. There's more memorial service for the passing of the highest priestess, and then there's a really long, awkward commercial for Grubber Industries chocolate bars, which involves like a child just eating so many chocolate bars that they eventually explode, and their parents have to clean their guts up off the child's bedroom walls. So that's pretty fun. But yeah, 1 hour goes by, so it's not quite dinner time yet. And Set, you hear another knock on your door.
I open the door.
All right, you open the door. You see Anastasia. Hi.
Hello.
Can we
Hello.
Can we talk?
Of course, my dear.
All right, she steps inside. She actually goes out of her way to close the door. Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. She looks, you can see in her eyes, she looks panicked. She's not quite sure how to word what she's trying to say.
Are you thinking that the people on this ship aren't actually part of the Ring Fleet?
No. I do think that they are, but I don't know what's going on. I took a look at the engine. This is a model that I haven't worked with before, so it made it a bit more complicated, but their engineer, Gary, he was talking about how when they made the trip here, one of the engines combusted, and I'm just gonna say it. Whatever happened to the engine is the same thing that happened to the facility when that ship blasted it.
They were already in the system when the facility was hit.
Yeah, and I don't know why the rest of the ship is still up and running, but
maybe they were just far enough out of the blast radius that only one engine got hit.
That could be it, but also, why didn't they mention this in the briefing?
That's a very good question, one I intend to find the answer to.
I don't want to spit in the eyes of a good thing here if we actually do get a ride, but I don't know, something is weird.
Indeed. I get. How can I gather everyone? So I assume there's security cameras everywhere. Would I have noticed them with my perception?
Yeah, you definitely would have.
Okay.
Sort of naturally would have looked in corners and seen them as you were walking by.
Are there any in my room?
No, it doesn't appear that there are cameras inside the rooms.
Who is in the room next to mine?
Let's say Reinhardt is.
Perfect. I go over to that wall and then in Morse code, just start banging on the wall to get his attention, saying like, something fishy is going on here. Gather everyone together. I'm going to investigate. Try to stay safe. And then I'm gonna like talk. And then I turn to Anastasia. And I'm like, stay here. Stay with the others. Try to act as casual as possible. And then
Okay.
I just sort of stealth out I like look up at the like an air vent in my room, and you just see me like dash into it and start crawling into the bow depths of the ship.
Okay.
If there is an air vent.
Yeah, there is. You can do that. But first, Reinhardt, roll me a perception roll while you're watching TV.
Perception.
I guess I wait for a response before I leave.
Yeah. What?
10.
Okay, yeah, that's just enough to notice. It's not low enough to be like, oh, that knocking was just in the TV show I'm watching. You definitely notice that someone's knocking on the door or the wall behind you.
I'm just
So
like,
you get this message.
so I actually understood what you said.
Yeah.
I was about to say, who's rude enough to bang on the wall? No, I listen to him and I slowly gather. I first go to Devon and give him the message.
Okay. After like 5 minutes, I just assume he's forgotten it and I start leaving.
Okay, so how exactly do you want to get everyone together? You just walk outside your room and go knock on Devon's door?
Yeah, and I just ask him, may I come in, please?
Okay.
All I don't want to say it in front of the cameras outside.
Devon, do you let him in?
Of course.
Okay, I assume so, but just in case you're like, I'm not doing this.
I'm like, absolutely fuck this person.
Alright,
Fuck you.
Reinhardt, you walk inside Devon's room, door closes.
Hey, what's up, Reinhardt?
I give him the message that Erebus gave me.
And what was that message, Reinhardt?
You tell me. I have the memory of keen mind.
Fuck. I'm just actually curious if you remember what it was.
I don't. I don't have a good memory.
I can essentially repeat it.
Yeah.
Something fishy is going on here. Anastasia noticed something weird in the engine room. I am going to investigate. Gather everyone. Stay safe. Act normal.
Yeah, so that's
Are
basically
we
what Reinhardt
gathering
says.
as a group, or are we just going about and doing our own thing?
That's up to you guys to decide. I've left.
And you're going, sorry, to where again?
I didn't
Engine room?
say. I just said I was
I'm
leaving to investigate.
So yeah, you guys have basically, other than Cock, done what he requested. So what would you do upon hearing this message?
Well, what's the word? I emphasize the last two words of, act normal. And I'm just like, alright, well then I'm just gonna eat, sleep, and, poop, basically. Work out. Fucking
Eat,
jack.
sleep, and poop.
Okay. Reinhardt, what do you do?
I am going to go back to my room and take a nap.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. You guys.
That-
Honestly,
Because I'm tired in real life and in the game.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Set or Erebus again.
It is.
You open up the vent in your room, and Anastasia, although she can't really help, she puts her hands out to help you sort of get up to it. She
You-
doesn't
it-
know that you have cat claws. to
Knowing
climb.
full well that I can like just climb up the wall, I do like I accept her help in such a way that she thinks she's helping, but like
Yeah.
I'm really just doing it myself.
Yeah. And then once you're in, you can hear her exit the room and head towards her room. Where do you want to go? You're not quite sure where forward leads, but...
I would like to try to get to wherever security would be, because that would have like logs of what happened to the ship, video footage, another place. And if I can't get there specifically, I'd also like to try to get to the engine room to see if for myself the damage, and then also the hangar to see if they actually let the shuttle leave or if they just said they would.
Okay, the hangar bay is the closest to where you were. It would most likely be sort of east of where you are. The security, you probably walked by it when you were headed to the meeting room. It's closer towards the main deck, and then the engines would be at the back of the ship, so south of you.
Let's do the hangar first, just to...
Okay, so you go forward a little bit, and then eventually you turn off in the direction of where the hangar bay is. As this is happening, is there anything, Cock, is there anything you would be doing differently, or are you just reading with Timbley?
I'm gonna notify Dridgy that her and Timbley and I are gonna have some study sessions.
Okay, you want her to join you?
Yep.
Okay, she was feeling quite lonely, so she will come along, but she doesn't really say much. She just sort of reads over your guys' shoulders and takes notes, basically.
Good.
All right, Erebus, you head in the direction of the hangar bay. Give me a perception check.
Oh, yes. I am good at those. A good thing I am, because I rolled a 4, but I get to add 7, so it's actually 11.
Okay. You make it to the edge of where the sort of vent connects to the hangar bay, and you look out, and it appears as though the shuttle that you guys came here on has left. But you still see the Vindicta. You see another ship, which you assume it's similar in design to the Vindicta, a little bit different, that you assume the other crew got to the Warrant on. And then there's a couple other ships that you're not sure what they're for. But yeah, the shuttle is no longer there. The orcs, as far as you're aware, made it off the ship.
Alright, I guess now I head to security.
Okay, so you head back towards where the main sort of vent area is and start heading up north of the ship. You make it past, you can definitely tell you're moving past the kitchen because it smells really nice. Whatever dinner they're making for you is really good, and you can hear somebody humming to themselves as they cook. You make it past the cargo hold. Is there any interest in looking in there?
Yeah, I take a peek. Roll again.
Okay. Yeah. Roll again.
Boom. 23.
Yeah, so there is there's a lot of crates that look like they're military grade, probably holding like high powered armor and things of that description. And there's just like straight up a huge suit of it's probably the Tritons. It's like tribal Triton armor, but it's been modified with ring technology. Probably from the cyber company that is just like, it's kind of like the Hulk Iron Man suit, but a little bit smaller. And that's the main thing that stands out to you. Otherwise, it's just like supplies for travel.
Uh-huh.
You keep heading towards the front of the ship. You make your way. Just before the meeting room that you guys were in before is the security office. Inside, you see said Triton himself. Give me a stealth check.
Do I need advantage on this, or just straight?
Yeah, you'd have advantage. He's not actively searching for you, and you're known for this sort of thing.
Well, 18.
All right, you feel as though you're hidden well enough. and you can see him sat at a desk, looking at some sort of console. Yeah, what would you like to do?
Is he not looking at me?
No, he's not looking towards the vents. It looks like he's actively looking at this screen.
And are like the servers where all the files and stuff for the security stored in here, or would they be stored elsewhere?
You're not sure.
Is there a spot where it looks like I could hook something in to like download the information from the security in here?
Probably. If you could get him away from his desk and to his like computer thing, you probably could get that information. Set a bomb off in the fucking cargo hold.
Hey, could you hold this Hot Wheels?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the cargo hold and just sort of like push over his armor, see if that gets his attention somehow.
All right, give me
this
a stealth
camera's
roll.
in the cargo hold, right?
Yeah. You would know there are cameras, but you could try to stealth around them if you.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, this one will not be advantage because you're leaving the vent.
But I got a 16, and that makes it a 26.
Jesus Christ! All right, you sneak yourself to where you're hiding behind one of the military boxes, so that you could quickly push and then run back behind it. Is this your plan to push it over?
Yes.
This will be athletics.
Damn, I'm pretty bad at that. Roll well, William. 17 plus 2, so 19.
Damn, that's pretty good. I'm actually looking at your character sheet right now. I totally forgot that you have 15,000 credits. Jesus Christ.
I'm rich.
All right, so you quickly dart over towards the armor and push on the back of it to try to knock it over, and it begins tumbling forward, and then there's just a huge clatter of... Is there like gunshots going off behind you, William?
There shouldn't be.
Oh, okay. There's just a huge clattering of as this huge suit of armor smashes down onto the floor. You're not sure if that got anyone's attention, but do you dart back towards the vent?
Go back in the vent, go to the security room.
Alright, you dart back into the vent and start crawling your way towards security. As you get back towards the vent that security is on, you can see the Triton, Benno. He's still sat at his desk. His eyes are squinted now. And then you can hear the door to the room open. And you immediately hear Benno say, did you hear that? And then there's a female voice that says, yeah, I'm going to go look at what it was. All right, just keep me informed. I'm looking at the cameras. I don't see anything. All right. And the door closes.
I give it a little bit.
All right, you stay posted up. And then eventually the door opens again. It's your armor. Oh, what about it? It fell over or something. Do you want me to put it back? No, I'll take a look at it. He gets up, cracks his knuckles, and walks towards the door. Can you keep an eye on everything? Yeah, I got you. And they high five. And then she walks over towards the desk and sits down. And then you can hear loud footsteps as he walks down the hallway.
What race was this?
She is a elf.
Elf. Okay. Just thinking, because if it was a dwarf, I just got some fancy dwarven boot that give me advantage on persuasion and speak dwarvish. Seducing. So I know I can't take her out very well, but I would get a crit if I shot her and hit her. But that wouldn't be good for me. I'm gonna. So the security cameras, is like the computer for them, like, at the bottom, or is it closer to like the top of the computers? Just trying to figure this out.
What do you mean?
Like a port. When I'm like looking at it, do I see like a place where I could like plug something in to download information off them?
Yeah, the desk that she sat at is like a sheet of glass with legs coming off the edges, so you can actually see where the computer is attached to it at the bottom, and that's where you think you need to get to. You might just be able to snatch the computer, but that would be way more obvious.
Yeah. Or I could quickly plug in the receptionist desktop that I've been dragging around with me.
I assume that's back in your room unless you actively brought it into the vent with you, which would be quite a hindrance.
Yeah, most likely. I guess. Is there a way I could like cat crawl on the floor stealthily over to like the computer while she's like focused on the cameras, plug the Thieves Code app into it, and download all the information?
I mean, you could try. It sounds very sketchy to your cat ears, but
Yeah,
as you think it to yourself.
it does sound sketchy, but I can't think of another way to like get her distracted. How would I get her? Does the Thieves Code app offer anything else besides jobs? Does it? Is it? It's just. It is a phone, right?
Yeah, it technically is a phone. This one doesn't have the capability of like making calls outside of the app. You could download more apps to try to do that. But again, this is just a reminder, the Thieves Code app is a very vague idea. If you could come up with something that makes sense, I would be willing to go along with it. It's just,
Yeah, like my brain immediately is like, does it do like the thing in the Arkham series where Batman can just like hold something up and his phone starts hacking it? But I feel like that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, you could probably get that eventually, but not quite yet.
Actually, what I want to do, if I could do this, is I would like to somehow get the vent open without her noticing, crawl along the ceiling until I'm like directly. Actually, is there a vent opening right on the other side of the door?
Yes, there is.
Could I I have a bell in my inventory. I don't know why, but I have one. Could I just ring a bell outside the door and see what she does?
Like, you want to go into the hallway and do it?
No, just from the vent, ring a bell to distract her, then pull my hand back up and in, and then go into the room while she's distracted.
You want to ring a bell from the vent and then exit the vent?
You said there's a vent on the other side of the door in the hallway. I would stick my hand through the vent, ring a bell, pull my hand back through with the bell. Hopefully that distracts her enough that she gets up from the computer and looks. And then in that moment, I go down and start downloading stuff onto the Thieves app.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, yes, you could do that. Yes.
All right, I would like to try that. I don't know why I have a bell, but I have a bell.
Okay, so you're basically gonna open the vent in the hallway, lower yourself down slightly, ring it, and then come back up and try to enter the room.
Yes.
If she leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me another stealth check.
Sleight of hand as well, just to see how well I do this.
Stealth check and then a performance roll.
I'm not bad at that. 15 on the stealth and 17 on the performance.
Okay. So, you quick open the vent, sort of with your legs lying on the top of the vent. You lower your head down through and your arms, and you look around. You don't see anybody. You start ringing the bell, and then quickly pull yourself back up to look through the vent inside the room. As you look at her, she definitely hears something. You can see her eyes dart towards the door. She's looking. She stands up for a moment. Hello? She sort of mumbles to herself. Do these doors have doorbells? What the fuck?
I ring it again. I just.
Alright, give me another stealth roll.
24.
Fuck, I just rolled my stealth after this. If only that power gave me the magic to beat a 24. It did not. You do this same sort of thing again. Ring the bell, quickly pull yourself back up and through, and close the vent. Again, she looks. She hasn't sat back down yet. She walks over towards the door, opens it, sticks her head through, looks around. Hello?
Can I, in like split moment, like just start downloading stuff?
I mean, if you want to do it, now's the time.
Yep. Stealth.
All right, Yep. Roll stealth.
22.
All right. You quickly dart out of the vent and towards the computer. It doesn't seem like you sort of have a quick moment to look back. She doesn't seem like she's noticed you. I assume you're downloading this to your device.
Yes.
Okay. You plug it in.
But what I would like to do is I plug it in, start the download, and then quickly crawl up onto the ceiling and back into the vent. Because I figure the download will take a while, and hopefully this way if she turns back around, she doesn't notice me.
Okay. And you're basically just like you run up to the computer, click a button on your device, and it just starts sucking all the data from the computer.
The device on top of the desktop.
Yeah.
But like in a place where she won't really notice it, and then I get back into the vent.
Honestly, you could just shove it under it. To be honest,
essentially, I'm like.
I thought you were saying I set the device to suck mode,
Hey, yo.
and then you quickly dart back into the vent, and after like 10 seconds of her looking around, she's like, Benno, are you done yet? I'm getting bored. She shouts out towards the cargo hold area, and then a few moments later, you can hear like someone wiping their hands, and he walks out. Yeah, I'm done. Go back to whatever you were doing. And then she nods her head. Thank God. Walks away. He walks back in, sits down at the desk. You go push the armor over again.
I might try the bell trick on him. You know what? To distract him. I don't know how much of a bad idea this might be, but I had an idea. I have a candle. What if I went into the kitchen and like lit the candle and started the smoke alarm going off? I feel like that would be a pretty big distraction.
I mean, yeah, you could try that.
I'll try the bell thing first, just because I feel like a fire alarm on a ship might cause everyone to, abandon ship, and we just got here.
All right, give me another stealth and another performance roll.
All right. 17 and 17.
Okay. So you do it. You open the vent, quickly put yourself down. Bing, 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 bing. Pull yourself back up. Look inside the room. There's a moment where, as you're looking through the vent, you can see he's looking directly at the vent, but you don't think he spotted you. But that's where he heard the sound come from.
Uh-huh. He has better ears than the elf.
And he slowly stands up.
Alright. I back away from the vent entrance.
Okay.
And hide in the shadows.
Yeah, you can sort of hear him move in the room. And then slowly move back towards the desk and sit down.
I need a distraction.
All the pressure's on you. I feel bad, but like...
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go try to set off the smoke alarms in the kitchen.
Okay. You head in the direction, so you basically just go back slightly. The kitchens are nearby, just further down the hallway. As you're heading back towards the kitchen, you can hear the cook say, Bellon, can you get everyone? I believe we're done. Oh, already? Yep. Well, begin setting, or the table should already be set. I believe Gary had Charman do that. I'll bring the courses if you want to help. Yeah, I'll go get everybody. She begins walking off somewhere, and he begins grabbing plates and stuff.
I guess I head back to... I need to be in my room for when they come get us. I also need to get my device back. I guess I want to... If I scurry back to security, on the security cameras, could I look to see where people are heading? And see if they get the Triton first, or if they look like they're heading more towards our area first, so I can dash back. Not dash back, but get back to our rooms.
So you want to head back to security to see if he's being summoned to dinner?
Yes.
Okay. You can see that from the vent that you're looking through, you can tell that the direction that the female elf Balon went, it was in the direction of where your guys' rooms are.
All right. I will head back to my room then instead.
Okay.
And if the train gets at dinner, I'll make some excuse, like I have to go to the restroom or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You head back towards your room. When you get back, obviously Anastasia's not there, and within like 30 seconds of you getting down, sort of dusting off your cloak, you hear a knock on your door.
I put the vent back in place.
Yeah.
And then I'll open the door.
And you see the female elf woman, the captain. Dinner is prepared. I have been informed by Rollum. I assume everyone will be joining us?
I will ask, and I guess I go room to room saying it's dinner time.
All right.
Let's see who joins me.
I assume Devon and Reinhardt are ready for food.
Give all the food.
Reinhardt?
Yes.
Okay. When you go to Cock's room, Cock, are you ready for dinner?
Yes.
Timbley also excitedly requests to join, whereas Drudgy hesitates, but she sort of looks to Cock to see if she should come or not.
You're coming to dinner.
Okay.
You've thrown up too much not to.
You're gonna die, Drudgy! Eat some goddamn food! Anastasia will join as well. God, I gotta look through the fucking list of the 10 people you brought with you.
Where's the baby? We also don't know where the baby is.
Yeah, the baby was taken to the medic of the ship. You're not sure. You haven't seen them since. Charos is still training. He doesn't seem like he wants to go. He's been snacking on the food that you guys have given him throughout the journey so far. Basically, he'll just say, like, I don't like the way people have been looking at me on board this ship. I think it's best if I stay in my room.
Perhaps. Yes, you're right.
But let me know if anything interesting happens. I do like a good story. And then he continues doing karate with the rock, zapping him with some sort of energy. All right, so the elf, Balon, escorts you all back in the direction of the... It's in the same section of the ship that the meeting room is in, but on the other side, connected to the kitchen, there's this large dining room. Long table. As Devon enters the room, he gets bad visions of the last time he was in a dining room and the argument between the father and the son, and then the men passing out. But then you remember that Jamal was there as well, and it brings a smile to your face. And as you guys all enter the room, the Admiral turns around. He's got a much more casual outfit on now, sort of like a robe thing, but like, you know, a fancier robe. And he just says, perfect. All right. This is one of Rollum's finest delights, to be sure. We've been very blessed to have such a great cook on board. You can see a male elf with a chef's hat on in the corner. Just like, oh, no, please, you flatter me. So you all sit down, the fucking 7 of you.
Yes.
Timbley smells the food, and there's just a huge smile on his face. He's like, I have not eaten this well in a long time. And he sits down. There's like what appears to be like a salad, but made of veggies of various weird alien planets. But it just smells like I don't know, like ice cream. It doesn't smell like it's supposed to. It doesn't smell healthy. But it smells very nice. And it's weirdly cold, but it's apparently supposed to be eaten like this. And Timbley just immediately starts like eating. And the chef is like, oh, very hungry this one. Very good, very good. The Admiral says, please, let's all take a moment and really let ourselves be rid of all the things that have happened in the past couple days. You've all been through quite a lot, and Hopefully, this can bring you some peace. And he sits down.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
sit
yes. You're also joined by Ebo, the commander, the human man, Balon, the female elf. You see a dwarf who appears to be in some sort of pilot's outfit. Oh, you see another human man, this one with darker skin, but he looks older. You assume this to be the engineer, Gary. And also, you don't see the Triton, for whatever reason.
Polishing his armor.
Yeah. Talking to it, saying sweet nothings.
I look towards the Admiral, and I say, if I may ask, how is the baby?
Yes, I've had our medic Valerie look over them, and they seem to be in good condition. When you all exit the Warrant, I will... I'll let you see them at any time, but you may take them once you leave. Obviously, they are not our child.
Of course. Thank you.
Of course. He nods to you. And then the dinner begins. You all sit, and this... Well, I shouldn't just assume you all eat, because you've been in weird situations before, but do you guys eat the food?
Only once I see the Admiral eating the same food will I eat it.
Okay.
I pray to the anomaly, and while I do so, cast Detect Poison and Disease.
Okay. Good. How long does that take to cast? It's just instant, right?
Yeah.
Alright. This food has no poison in it.
Very good. It's
just a nice dinner.
Is the chef in attendance?
Yeah, he's in the corner watching to make sure everyone likes the food. It appears there's probably a plate for him as well, but he just wants to see people's faces as they eat. He's filming them for his TikTok now.
I would have to kill him if that was the case.
But yeah, Erebus, at a certain point, you see the Admiral chow down, and he's just like, this is so good. Thank you, Romnan.
Eat it.
Alright, you guys all have a nice dinner. There's various conversations about things. The Admiral tries to steer away from business and instead tells stories about like his kids and various things that have happened throughout the galaxy in his time that are more than just battle.
And I listen thoroughly.
Yes, he wants you all to have a nice time. He tells a story about a time that he was on Vegarok, and this was as he was away from his wife of many years, and there was a tribe of Tigerus Tabaxi that he wooed, but then, obviously he was in a long-term relationship, so he couldn't do anything, and he tells about the disappointment of having to tell them all, no, I can't do it. But they were entranced by his, military human style. And as an old man, he doesn't really know where the stopping point is in stories, so he does get like awkward sometimes with some of the details, and you all cringe a bit. But it's a pretty nice evening overall.
During the conversation in his stories, I asked him, in your adventures with the military, have you ever met Fleet Admiral Oberstein?
Ah, yes, Oberstein. He's a bit of a wild one, to be sure, but we've had our interactions. We fought alongside each other in the great battle on Elfia against the machines, I should say. Just a bunch of mechanics with wrenches. Yes, we saw the field together, but it's been quite a long time. When the war came to an end, I took up more of a passive role within the ring, and recently, this has really been my only mission. It's quite stressful to be out here, back this far away from Elfia, but I look forward to returning to my suite when we get back. Hopefully, the engines can be repaired soon. Gary, do you have any updates? There will be repairs need to be done, and they have begun. Your friend Anastasia, he looks over to her. She helped me with some of the schematics, although they were a bit advanced. Hopefully by the morning, this ship will be ready to go, sir. Perfect. Brilliant news, Gary. Well, he looks over towards the chef, Rolim. Should we provide some of this for the rest of the crew, Rumlin? Would be selfish of us to just eat just the group of us, yes? Of course, sir. I will bring it to the rest of the crew right now. He picks up his plate, some of the other ones. Thank you all for enjoying my meal. It makes me so happy that our guests enjoyed it so.
It was very delicious.
Thank you. It warms my heart to hear this, and enjoy the rest of your stay, and I look forward to seeing what you do with yourselves. And he turns and heads towards the door to provide food to the rest of the crew. Is there anything in particular you guys would talk about at dinner, or do you just chow down and try to make it through the night?
Yeah. Just try to chow down, head back to my room, get back in the vent, get back to security.
I casually try to insert the anomaly and my love for it into every conversation that I have.
The rest of us are just so used to him doing this, we just completely ignore him.
Yeah. The dwarven pilot, there's this male dwarf who, he's got like the classic pilot goggles and all that stuff. He mentions to you that Benno, the Triton security guard, early in his life he was a child on the anomaly. And he just mentions that just sort of offhand to you. So yeah, the dinner goes over well. You guys get a nice meal. Dessert is even better. There's like this, what looks like a sort of large bird made of ice, but as he chops the ice, you can tell it's some sort of weird, like foamy cake. But you can see through it, and you taste that, and it's amazing. It tastes like, it's not too sugary. It's just like the perfect amount of flavor and sweetness, and you all have big smiles on your faces as you finish eating. This is the best meal you've had probably in months since you've been part of the crew of the Vindicta. And Cox probably had some nice meals on the fleet, but this is like specialty. The Ring Fleet have, paid extra to get this guy on board the ship, so it's a really nice meal. Yeah, as dinner is finishing up, you guys are having, some drinks, conversations. There's hearty laughs from the Admiral as Reinhardt tells him some story about his time in war, and yeah, you guys can leave whenever you want. It's just sort of the end of the night sort of feeling as things are wrapping up and people are having conversation.
I excuse myself, stating it's been a long night, long day. Start heading back to my room with anyone who would like to go with me.
Of course. It was a pleasure to speak with you, Erebus, and I look forward to learning more about you. He nods.
You as well, Admiral. You as well.
I should do the same. I must continue working out. I'm, for whatever reason, obsessed with this phrase. Maybe put some salt in between steps.
Yeah. For whatever reason, when Devon gets up, the Admiral does not say anything to him. You're not quite sure why that is, but you might have some guesses.
Because he's an orc, the captain's racist.
The Admiral does say, Reinhardt, Leon, was it, correct?
Yes.
Perhaps you and I can have further conversation tomorrow. I'm very intrigued by all of your stories. You seem to be well-traveled yourself.
Well, I was an admiral.
Really?
Yes. In the Great Ring War.
Oh, I'm surprised I haven't heard of you.
I feel like I can trust you enough. I actually was under Fleet Admiral Oberstein. That's why I asked about it.
Oh, I see. And what led you to stepping away and joining up with the Vindicta?
I made a suggestion to Oberstein in one of the final battles, and I thought it would work and it would go very well. He said I shouldn't do it, that we shouldn't do it. He threw the idea into the trash can, but I went with it anyway. And the plan worked. I saved a lot of people. All the people on the ship all the fellow soldiers were very happy with me, but I was labeled a traitor. And Fleet Admiral Oberstein, instead of doing something about it, he shoved me in a space pod and launched me out of the ship. And that's where I searched for allies and found Leon Adrian.
You know, this reminds me of a story I've heard, but perhaps for another time. Give me an insight roll, Reinhardt.
Insight. Okay. 22.
Okay. He's a little bit drunk, so he's not fully following, but you think that he's sort of picking up the pieces, and he might know who you really are.
Okay.
And, and that sort of has caught him off guard, seeing as the person who you really are, he thought was dead, you know?
Of course, everyone thinks that, even my family.
Yeah, so...
I'm a little drunk, too, so I...
Yeah, that's why I was assumed...
Without me even knowing I really am saying it, but I feel like I could actually trust him.
Right.
Knowing
no,
that
that's what I assumed what was happening, yeah. But yeah, there's an acknowledgement. He's thinking to himself, but for the time being, he just sort of nods to you and says, well, enjoy the rest of your night, all of you.
You as well.
And eventually people scatter and the dinner comes to an end. Erebus and Devon, you heading straight back to your rooms?
Yeah, I need to get back in the vent.
Yep.
Okay. As you're heading back in that direction, you make it past the kitchen area where you can see Rollum is, finishing up a few more meals for the rest of the crew. You head back down the fancier hallway where the captain and commanders sleep and all that stuff. And then you see a much older human man with a sci-fi water bucket mopping the floor outside your guys' rooms. He looks towards you. Oh, you must be the crew of the Vindicta. Yes, it's good to see you.
Indeed, we are.
Well, saying goodnight then, I suppose.
Indeed.
And as you go to walk by him, who's going first? Is it Devon or Erebus?
I feel like Erebus. Yeah, goes first.
Alright, so he sort of spins his bucket to try to move in that direction, and as he does it, it tumbles over, and some of the water spills out, and he's like, oh! He picks up the bucket. Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
It's alright.
He pulls out a towel and begins putting it on the ground. Oh, so clumsy of me. And as he does that, with your passive perception, you notice he's throwing the towel on the ground, and as he does that, a small card falls onto the ground in front of him, and he just ignores it and starts wiping the ground down.
I bend over to pick up the card, or I stab it with my feet and
Okay, yeah, nice. You look at it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a key card to open a specific prison cell 105 on board the ship. And he just continues wiping the water. Oh, I'm getting more clumsy in my old age. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
You're all good.
I'll get rid of this right away. Once again, I apologize. And he throws the towel in the bucket and starts quickly, hurriedly getting away.
Devon, would you like to join me for a nightcap in my room?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
Head into my room. Once we're in the room, I show Devon the card that I just picked up.
And yeah, it's just this basic sort of metallic key card that is, you think, tied specifically to a room. It's got the number cell 105 on it.
Something fishy is going on this ship.
Like there's always some insanity going on. I The vibes is off.
Indeed. Well, I have to go get a device I have downloading the security footage of the ship. If you'd like to stay in here for 30 minutes to 45 minutes having a nightcap with me, that'd be great. I wink, indicating that I mean stay in here and pretend you're in here with me while I leave.
Yes. Oh, yes. This nightcap is going to be excruciatingly satisfying.
I pull up my water skin filled with alcohol and I throw it at you.
Nice. Perfect party. All right, so you heading back into the vent?
Yep.
Can I lock the door too? If that wasn't urged.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Okay. Cock and Reinhardt, where are you guys going after the dinner?
I'm walking around the ship looking to see if I can see signs of the prison.
Signs of the prison? Oh, just like where it's located?
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck, what kind of role would that be? I guess just investigation.
Natural 20.
Okay. You luck upon, like, scrawled into one of the doors, like, scraped into it with some sort of knife or something. There's, like, a basic map, and you can see that on the back of the ship, right before the engine room, there's a section with cells in it. Yeah. Reinhardt, what about you? After you're done talking to the Admiral, where would you go?
I am drunk, so I'm gonna go back to my bed.
Okay. And you get assistance from Ebo, the human commander. He helps you. He like puts your arm around his shoulder and carries you back, or at least helps you walk.
And when I get back to my room, I thank him.
All right. He says like, "Of course, we are all on the same side here." And the door closes. Anything in particular you want to do when you're back in your room, or?
I think I'll turn on the TV and then go to sleep on the couch because I like constant sound.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. And then before we do the ventures, Cock, is there anything you want to do with the information about where the prison is, or are you just gathering it and then heading back to your room?
I'm gonna walk by the prison, see if it's guarded or what be it.
Okay, so as you're doing that, you basically have to walk past all of your rooms, southern to your rooms. There's that morning area with the fridge that you put the poison chicken inside, and then there's a circular room that looks like a study or something, and then that leads into the bigger area at the back where you can see various labeled rooms, and then you see the prison, and you can see, there's two of these black suited, basically inverted colors, stormtroopers stood outside the prison, both holding weapons, and as they see you, you just hear like, "I think you're lost, friend. Bathrooms are the other way."
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Not entirely sure the salad was agreeing with me, but God, was that good.
They look at each other like, "This guy got fucking salad and we didn't." You can tell that through the mask. They're very disappointed.
It's okay. I'll try to get you some salad if I can.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Like, hey, you want to come to the prison mess? That is a 17 plus 6. 23.
You hear the other guy say, "Wow, that would actually be really appreciated. Thank you."
No problem. I go back to blessing the ship with anomaly things.
Alright, so as he does that, Erebus climbs inside the vent once again. And where would you like to go? You have a better idea of where things are now.
I guess I head back towards the security vent.
Alright, you head back towards security. You make it past the kitchen, where the chef has now assumably gone somewhere to hand out food to people. Make it past the cargo hold where the armor has been re-stacked. And then you make it towards security where you can hear two people talking inside.
Listen.
One of them is the Triton. You haven't heard the other voice very clearly yet, but you hear the Triton say, "It's just a little suspicious is all." Then you hear another voice say, "Oh, it's just, I forgot about one of the rooms. I just had to go back and check." Okay, just make sure you clear it with me next time, alright? Look, I don't want to get angry. I just gotta keep everything on track. Of course, I won't do it again. Alright, get out of here. And you can hear the old man stumble out of the room. Then you can hear the sound of a bucket scraping across the floor. And you look inside and see the Triton sit back down at the desk.
Val is suspicious. Causing an alarm would just not be great.
Try knocking on the door. See if you can spark a conversation and sneak the device or something like that.
Press a button, and then the device just starts crawling up the wall back to me.
That would be a really cool gadget to have created.
Yes, that would have been useful.
You got 15,000 credits worth of potential spy gadgetry on the way.
I don't spend it upgrading the boom ship at some point.
Yeah, the boom ship, which we'll see if that ever gets fucking used. Andrew's gonna put it in his ass and say boom.
Yeah.
Can I use? I guess I'll just sit here and wait and see if there's a moment where he like leaves to go to the bathroom or something.
Okay. So you're basically just sort of watching him at this current moment. Give me an insight roll.
Not great at that either. Oh, 17.
Okay. It's hard to tell too much. Clearly he's paying attention to something. You assume at this point that it's the security cameras. But there's a look on his face that maybe he's not totally as focused as he should be, and you think it's because he's having some conversation with himself in his mind. There's a look of distress on his face. Something he doesn't like or something. You're not quite sure, but there's that feeling of like you don't think he's totally completely focused on the cameras.
Does he look unfocused enough that I could slip in, grab the device, and leave without him noticing?
You're not quite sure. It doesn't seem like that level of unfocus. It's more just like, if you're watching a YouTube video but you're also eating or something, there's something going in his mind that is having him not completely focused on the screen.
The security room's pretty close to the kitchen, right?
Yeah, it's in the same hallway area.
I guess I go back to the kitchen and like put a thing of popcorn in a microwave and get it to like start burning. See if the fire alarm goes off, and that gets him to get up and go try to deal with it.
Okay, you head into the kitchen. You want to investigate for popcorn?
Yeah.
All right.
17.
Okay. You don't find popcorn, but you find the sci-fi equivalent of, space food that you heat up, instant heat up. And you just want to, like, put it in the microwave for, like, 10 minutes?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Are there cameras in the kitchen?
Yeah.
All right, can I try to do all of this stealthily?
Mm-hmm.
Does a 30...
Does a 30?
20 plus 10, so 30.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, you've spotted the camera, so you know exactly where you need to be to stay out of its eye range, or its lens range. And you do all of this very stealthily, like lift your hands up behind tables, and that's how you grab things, and you're keeping your body away from the camera at all times.
For a brief moment, I become part chameleon and just start leaning into the background.
And yeah, you start the microwave for 10 minutes and head back towards the vent. Now, do you want to stay in the kitchen area or go back to security?
I want to stay in the kitchen area until I see it's burning, and then head towards security to see if he reacts.
Okay. Yeah, like 5 minutes into the microwave sesh, the machine itself begins to smoke.
Start heading towards security.
Okay, as you start heading back towards security, you begin to hear a whoop, whoop, whoop. As that happens, this happens across the whole ship, so you all hear this going off. As this happens and you guys are in your various rooms and stuff, Reinhardt, roll me a perception to see if this wakes you up.
Disadvantage for the alcohol.
I got a natural 1.
You're dead asleep. You're too drunk to be affected by this. But Devon and Cock, you definitely hear this siren going off, and the lighting goes a bit more red inside the ship. Cock, where would you have been doing this religious preaching?
At this point,
In his bedroom. Fine.
Prophesizing to my turtle.
Okay.
If I tried to find a pool table, so probably wherever the common room would be.
Okay. Yeah. You can head back towards the break room. Do you want to actually be playing pool?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll say, like, you're talking to some of the other... There's another janitor that isn't the old man who is off right now, and he plays a little bit with you. At one point, the chef comes in, Romlin comes in and offers him some food, and they have a back and forth, and you're all talking, and then that's when the alarm goes off, and the chef's like, oh no, my souffle! And he begins running off towards the kitchen.
You need help with your souffle?
I hope not! If it's burnt, I'm gonna vacuum myself.
Ooh, sounds like fun.
I need more salad.
Do you run with him for the salad?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't run with him at first. I'm like, wait a minute, if he vacuums himself, I'm gonna lose out on the salad. I'm like, wait, I'll help you.
Okay, all right. So you run towards the kitchen. Erebus, you're heading back in the vent towards the security area. As you look through the vent into the room, you can see as you make your way there, the Triton has just gotten up and he's running towards the door, and it opens and he leaves.
I get my device.
All right, you leap down into the room and grab the device, and I assume you're going back into the vent.
Yeah.
All right, you head back into the vent.
And then hurry as quickly as possible back to my room.
Okay, Cock, as you're making your way, you're like right behind the chef as he's sprinting towards the kitchen. As you guys make it there, you can see the Triton is, or Benno, I should say. He is stood in front of a large thing of smoke. He's shooing it and spraying it with something.
I hope it wasn't the souffle.
Time goes by, and eventually the alarm goes off as it is taken care of. But there's definitely a conversation had in front of Cock as you're sort of paying attention. The Triton says, "Why would you put something in there and then just leave it?" No, it wasn't me. I had my souffle cooking, but it was not in the microwave. Why would I do that? So you're saying someone else did this? One of the crew, maybe? I do not know. I was serving them. Did not see anyone doing anything suspicious. I promise. No, I believe you. It's just... He pulls out the burnt, crisp space food. And he thinks to himself, make sure everything's okay. Call me if you need me. And he starts running out of the room, Cock.
Were there any security cameras in the security room?
You're not sure. You want to roll
Stealth
to see if you noticed?
I guess.
Sure. Perception.
24.
There was.
Could I have done the grab stealthily, or is it too late?
Yeah, you could if you want to roll now to see if you did it stealthily. I thought I had you do that. Oh no, that was the kitchen that you rolled stealthily.
Yeah, 21 for the grab.
Okay. Cock, you're in the kitchen with the cook. He's looking at his souffle, checking it over, poking it, making sure it's good. Was there something you required?
Oh, I wanted to know if you had any leftover salad that people didn't want, or could make more salad.
Oh, you enjoyed it that much, eh?
Yes, it was magnificent.
That brings a smile to my heart.
Oh,
Might want to
He-
get like, checked out by a medical professional.
He opens up the fridge, pulls out a saran-wrapped plate of the stuff. Yes, I was saving this for myself later, but if you enjoy it so much, you may have it. And he holds it out to you.
oh, thank you very much.
Of course, of course. I am very pleased that you enjoyed it so. Now please, I am very embarrassed at this whole situation.
I will bow and take my leave.
Alright. Anything else anyone wants to do? I assume you're taking that plate back to the guards.
I'll keep it. for
Or
now.
do you actually just eat it yourself?
I walk into the guards, start eating it.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm gonna put it under the poisoned and not poisoned chicken in the fridge for later.
That are both labeled "Do not eat" might be poison.
Exactly.
Perfect. Okay. And eventually Erebus re-enters the room that Devon is in.
And then I pull out the receptionist's desktop, plug the information in, and start going through it.
Okay. And what are you looking for?
I guess this like security logs of the when they arrived, what day they actually arrived in the Omega Astria, if they were hit.
Okay.
Video evidence showing that the orcs and witch actually got away.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Give me a sleight of hand roll for that.
28.
Okay, yeah. There is video evidence of the shuttle leaving and making it quite far away. You can actually see it basically disappear from view on camera, so that is a relief to you. The logs from the past couple days are a bit scatterbrained. There's gaps of days in between, and the logs are very vague. Things like, no, we were not attacked today and stuff of that nature, or the log of the day where they found the Vindicta. There's a brief description on the physical condition of the pilot Jade Lianu, but other than that, there's Dr. Banks won't talk to us, ... and then it's never finished.
What day is that timestamp?
2.5 days ago, basically, at this point.
And the location?
Just outside the range of the atmosphere of Zokral Prime.
I guess I then start looking to see what any logs to do with the engine and when that was when that problem started.
Okay. As far as the logs show, the engine failure happened as they arrived on Zokral Prime. So basically, at the end of last session, you guys exited the atmosphere, and then they, hyperdrived or whatever to that location. That's when the logs begin of the engine failure.
That's not that suspicious, but does mean there might be someone sabotaging them on board. Or it could just be lingering in the atmosphere of Zokral Prime, and the only reason our ship was able to leave is because we had the witch on board.
Yeah, that might be it. Anything else you want to look into?
The prison cells, video footage of when the doctor was put in there, and of our other companion from the Vindicta.
Yeah, so the camera footage that you have, it doesn't seem like they're actually recording footage. So there isn't logs to look through in that regard. But there is the most suspicious thing that you see is there is no log of Jade Lianu being put in the medical center, but there is a log of her being put in a prison cell.
501?
105.
105. The card I got.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I turn to Devon. I'm like, so it seems they have been lying to us about something. Are pilot on the Vindicta is not in the medical facility, but is instead in a prison, room 105, the same 105 I got the key card for.
Coincidence? I think not.
And then I start putting this desktop back in like my satchel.
Nice. Alright.
Nick, did you write that down perchance? Because I don't have a pen, so I cannot.
Prisoner 105.
Is our pilot.
Written it down.
Thank you. I do believe our nightcap has gone on long enough. I take a swig from the water flask. You can stay the night if you feel safer, or you can head back to your own room if you prefer.
Might just go back to my own room, retire. A long series of trials and tribulations throughout.
It's an understatement at this point. Okay, so our Reinhardt's already asleep. Erebus and Devon, are you guys gonna head for bed?
Yes.
Well?
Okay. So the final member of the group, Cock, what would you get up to once achieving salad?
I would finish making my rounds of ship blessing and then go indulge myself in alcoholism in my room.
Okay. With that, I don't have an amazing cliffhanger this time, but I think that's a good enough time to sort of end it for now. There's some stuff happening on board the ship, you know that now, and next time you can do a bit more investigating. Thanks for playing, guys. Fuck you, man. Fuck you.